To help make sense of all this, let's turn to Ali Velshi, an anchor at MSNBC, business correspondent at NBC News, and a Canadian. Let's talk oil. We're seeing what a drop in demand means in terms of prices, but can you put some perspective on this? What else might it mean, especially for Canada?
First of all, this didn't have to happen because we've seen a slowing in demand for oil as the global economy slows down. Then we saw a much more sudden drop in demand with coronavirus, particularly from China. But this is about Saudi Arabia and Russia not being able to come to terms on how much oil to produce. And the absence of an agreement from them meant that everybody's now got permission to produce as much oil as they want. Here's the thing. Saudi Arabia can produce much cheaper oil than most places in the world, including Canada and the United States, which rely on something called tight oil. It's harder to get to. Saudi Arabia's oil is much cheaper, so they can afford to see these prices drop. What Canada can't afford is $20, $25, $30 a barrel. Canada struggles sometimes, as does the United States, at $50 a barrel. So what this means is oil producers, if they see this playing out for the longer term, will start to shut production down, reduce production, and lay people off. And that's going to hit Canada particularly hard.
What is it about the anxiety over coronavirus that is so damaging to markets?
It's the uncertainty. It's a lack of leadership. In 2008, when we saw markets collapse and we saw the last recession, the Great Recession, what you saw is governments, central banks, people like that coming together and saying, look, we've got to sustain the global economy, so we'll inject money in, we'll cut interest rates. This feels sloppy. The G7 banking central bankers got together the other day, didn't come to an agreement. Then America cut interest rates. Then Canada followed. OPEC is not doing what appears to be in the world global interest, but rather trying to gain share of the oil market. It sort of feels at the moment like everybody's in it for themselves rather than a concerted global effort to say, hey, we've got a crisis on our hands. We can confront it, and this is how we're going to do it. Fear causes people to make their own decisions, like getting out of the market, like paying less for things, and that's the kind of thing that could tip the world into a recession. Canada's at greater risk because of its reliance on the price of oil for so much of the economy. But right now, it's fear, uncertainty, and a global lack of leadership, Adrienne.
All right, Ali Velshi, thanks very much.